Bienvenidos to Pica Poco Kitchen. Today we're making tacos al pastor. Vámonos! Amongst many people's number one favorite tacos has to be tacos al pastor, including myself. There's nothing that feels more Mexican than a Sunday afternoon with football and tacos al pastor. But that wasn't the case from the start. We owe tacos al pastor to the Lebanese immigrants who started immigrating to Mexico right before and during the fall of the Ottoman Empire, settling in Mexico City, Puebla, Veracruz, and many other cities, and bringing with them their food and traditions. One of the dishes that they brought was shawarma. Lamb stacked over each other in a spinning cone with wonderful flavors. That's where the name comes from. Pastor means shepherd. Later on, those flavors evolved to a more rooted Mexican flavor. The meat was switched for pork, and the spices became spicier and a little bit more colorful. So from the moment the Lebanese gifted us that dish and we made it our own, the love story began. Because there is, to this day, no more beautiful sight than the red spinning meat, which aromas call you by your name. Ale, ale, ale. And with that sonnet of love to tacos al pastor, let's make some. First, let's make the pastor marinade for the meat. And for that, we're gonna need 5 Guajillo peppers, de-seeded and deveined and washed under the tap. We're gonna cover them with boiling water. And to that, I'm also gonna add 3 garlic cloves. Well, in fact, I'm adding 5 because mine turned out to be very small. After 10 minutes, I'm gonna transfer my peppers and garlic into my food processor. To that, I'm gonna add half a cup of achiote paste. I have the recipe on how to make your own at home, but you can use the store-bought. Just use the equivalent of half a cup. I'm also gonna add 1 cup of fresh pineapple. If you can get pineapple or it's not in season, you can use 1 cup of pineapple juice. I'm also gonna add half a cup of apple cider vinegar. And for the spices, we're gonna start with 1 teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and half a teaspoon of cumin. Season with salt and pepper and take it to the food processor. To prep my meat, I cut my 3 pounds of center cut pork loin into thin fillets. I'm gonna mix a little bit of oil in them and wait for this marinade to be ready. Pour your marinade over the meat, mix well, cover it, and let it sit in your fridge between 20 to 30 minutes. I decided to cook my meat using the traditional trompo shape, which means stacking it all on each other, and it's called trompo because the conic shape that the meat takes once the taquero starts cutting it resembles a spinning top. And it looks amazing. It was really fun, but I have to warn you against it. Traditional pastor tacos are cooked that way because they use a rotating vertical oven that spins continuously. So as you cut the meat, the rest of it will keep spinning and keep roasting. The problem is that if you do this process in the oven, you're just gonna get a roast on the outer layer. And the inner layers, even though they're gonna be very tender and juicy, they're not gonna get a nice roasting and the appropriate texture that pastor tacos have. And I don't mention that at the end of the video when I try it because of course I eat the outer layer. So I didn't realize that until I sat down and continue eating. So my recommendation would be, if you want to achieve the best texture for this meat and this marinade, will be go ahead and grill it. Grilling it will achieve the perfect texture and the nice roasting that you're looking for. And don't forget that you don't have to use pork. You could use beef, you could use chicken, and even if you want to go old school, you can go lamb. But I wanted to be honest and straightforward with you because I want you to achieve the best result. So, honestly, skip this step, go ahead and grill your meat. You're gonna get a better result that way. And I left this part in just in case you're the proud owner of a vertical rotating oven. To top my meat, I hammered in half an onion with my meat pounder. And to make sure that everything would cook evenly and that I wouldn't cause a fire, I cover my meat with foil and did the same with the tops of the skewers, just to be safe. 350 Fahrenheit, like I said, first 40 minutes cover, then take it out, uncover, and let it be for another 20 minutes. But you don't have to worry about that because hopefully you'll listen to me and you will grill your meat. And to get the whole experience, we need a good taquero salsa. And for that, we're gonna fry 1 Guajillo pepper, 5 Árbol peppers, and 3 to 5 garlic cloves. Again, my cloves were very tiny. We need to fry them well and take them out before they burn. It's not gonna take a while, so be aware. Get your peppers out, and we're gonna add the onion. Once the onion is in, you can take out your garlic and add 2 tomatoes. Transfer everything to your food processor, including the oil, season with salt and pepper, and add 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Transfer your salsa into a jar and you're ready to go. This is a perfect salsa for tacos. Now the tortillas. There is something you need to know about tacos al pastor. And the thing is that the tortillas are tiny. They are meant to be between 2 to 3 bites. So make a very small testal. I am calculating that it is 1.5 inches diameter, maybe. And you want to press it slightly. Don't go too crazy. If you go paper thin, it's gonna be impossible to remove from the plastic. And here are all of my little tortillas. Of course, they are all uneven and funny looking, but that's okay by me. And the most important thing is that they are hot and they're ready to be filled with our delicious meat. So let's get to it. I cannot tell you how ridiculously excited I am for the whole experience. Oh, it smells. I've been just have no words. Have no words. And I'm gonna give it my best to carve it as I should. I hope I don't make a mess, and I hope it's. I don't know. I don't know what I hope. I just want it in my mouth. Now there's official taqueros have an art. It's an art to crave the meat, keep the shape, and then they cut the pineapple on top and flip it and catch it in your taco, and it's just wonderful. I'm not gonna be able to do that, of course. I wasn't even able to make a decent origami taquero hat. This is rubbish, but it is what it is. I don't care about the hat. I just want this in my mouth. I have my tiny tortillas. Don't make tiny tortillas. Make regular tortillas because it's a pain. And I mean, I just did it to keep the experience realistic, but don't mind about that. Now, and as you know, I'm not the best tortilla maker, so they're not as thin as they should be, but we're gonna pretend they are for the following reason. So every time you go
they're gonna ask you if you want a copy. The copy refers to having 2 tortillas. You know, in case one breaks, once you drench it with salsa and lime and everything. So this is one with copy. Let's see. Okay. So nervous and excited and everything. Ooh, the meat is so soft. It's just so freaking soft. I don't think I'm doing it right. Let me see. Okay, that was just wrong. Doesn't matter. Okay. So I have my meat in my taco. Smells great. If I had the proper trompo, then I would chop up a piece of pineapple, but I'm not gonna compromise the bottom of my thing, so I'm just gonna add a couple of pieces extra of pineapple. And they're gonna ask you, con todo, with everything. And there's just one right answer, and that is yes. If you're not saying yes to that, then I don't know what you're doing here. Just move on. So, let's go. Con todo. Con todo, por favor. Let's check out our taquera salsa. That's gonna be spicy, but it's gonna be good. And of course, lime. Oh, what am I doing? Eating like a crazy person. I have a plate. Okay. Let's see how this one goes. And don't forget to ask for extra napkins. You're gonna need them. And let me give you a pro tip. Once you're done eating as many tacos as you're gonna eat that day, my personal record is 20. I wasn't counting. My friend Ernesto counted. I wasn't informed that that was gonna happen. But that was a long time ago and I was younger. I don't know which my record would be today, but I don't want to know, honestly. Anyway, once you're done with the tacos for that night, chop the rest of your meat. Put it in a Ziploc bag, in a container, in a vacuum seal, whatever, and freeze it. And next time you go out for a late night party, take them out before you leave. And when you come home, you make yourself some pastor tacos because there is no better moment to consume them than after a late night dancing. You see, he wants some. And whatever you do, just make them because you're gonna love them, and let me know if they become your number one most favorite tacos. I bet they will. So if you enjoy this recipe just like this video, please share it with your friends. Like, subscribe, and be notified. And for more, follow me on the socials. Adios, amigues.